They've risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the mic, Scholar Jeff. To my left is Scholar Tarek.
Welcome everyone to the first October Scholars of Wrestling.
And to my other left, Scholar Brian, back from the Crusades.
Hello.
You knew you couldn't top me, so you just went, hello?
No,
Hello?
I decided to be the exact opposite. You're bombastic, bringing in the joy of the Halloween season, and I'm just like, hi.
Well, I'm gonna make sure every intro to Scholars of Wrestling this month is gonna be some kind of Halloween based intro. Either be a quote from a horror movie or a quote from a horror movie.
Dude,
or just for a change of pace, possibly a quote from a horror movie.
Possibly.
But hell, tell you what the scariest thing this week was? We actually had an interesting week this week. Full of good wrestling.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
Do we want to count? Are we counting Raw? Because you said a week filled with good wrestling, and yeah.
Okay.
NXT Takeover replaced all the bad vibes from everything.
Okay,
I wouldn't go that
I'm
far.
gonna time out with that whole against Raw that you two are doing. When it comes to the wrestling, Raw wasn't that bad, but when it came to storylines, story developments, that's because when you waste time with Summer Rae proposing to Rusev and Rusev saying yes, but only until he wins gold. What I was just like, okay. You wasted an entire segment for this garbage.
And when 2/3 of your show is that,
and now
the one third of wrestling, I always enjoy the actual wrestling. Always have. It's the 2/3 with the storylines that you got the Summer Rae that you brought up. You got all kinds of. At
least we got New Day.
You got New Day
coming out.
You
on
got
top.
New Day coming out on top at the end of the show.
Seriously, the New Day is like the only reason I pay attention to Raw anymore.
Lies.
Oh, that's
the New Day, Kevin Owens, anything involving the Wyatts and the Shield.
Yeah, that's really
it.
They're
one of the
that's
better
really
parts.
it.
They're still one of the better parts.
Oh, yeah.
And Sasha Banks.
And Sasha Banks and Becky
Sasha.
Lynch and
Charlotte wasn't there, so you can't really say anything.
Yeah.
Hell, Becky Lynch wasn't even there.
But you know where she was?
But she was there in spirit.
That way. We'll get to all that in due time. But in all case, there's still other things to talk about. Before we get to, obviously, the big moment this week, NXT Takeover Respect. But first, let's get into what we really came to see right at the top of the show. Let's talk a little about backstage news.
Indeed. Let us start the show how we always start our shows, by peeking behind the curtain and checking in on a little
backstage news.
News.
And there it is.
I actually did not miss that.
Sending those levels into the red.
I really did not miss the meh. I missed your backstage news.
Guess what? No one cares whether you missed my meh or not.
Oh no,
I'm sure someone cares.
No,
I care.
No, guess what? No.
Well, tell you what. Let's talk about things that
not meh.
That are not meh, and things we actually do care about.
But
such as, but this one is not meh. This one is not meh because it just happened only a matter of hours ago. As of the time of this recording, we have the NXT debut of James Storm during this week's NXT tapings.
I am so excited to see what kind of... One thing I like about it most is that he's not changing his name. He actually is coming in as James Storm. I like it.
Is he coming in with his beer drinking gimmick?
I didn't catch it. All I saw was a couple screenshots from him in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
But he looks like he's got like the rodeo, like a rodeo rope, like around his neck or something.
No.
Well, Yeah.
It's only night one. It's only his real thing. It's like, oh,
if
yeah,
he brings
he's with the
out,
company now.
If he brings out, sorry about your damn luck. Good enough for me.
As long as he
doesn't come out like Jimmy Wang Yang,
rodeo
cowboy,
Korean rodeo cowboy.
Yeah,
that's.
Well, minus the Korean.
He's already got a leg up. He's got a leg up. He's not Korean, so it's not awkward.
And he's not going to be booked by Vince McMahon.
He's going to be booked by Triple H, and
that's a good thing.
He's where he should be. I have liked his work when I've seen him in the latter part of TNA.
Mm-hmm.
More James Storm versus Samoa Joe. Never hurt anybody.
So her NXT, bring it on. I dig it. You know what else I dig? Let me just ask you. Out of everything, all the things I talk about on this show, what is one of the things I like the most?
Climax?
No. Not the G1 Climax, but close. Just New Japan in general. You won't let it go, will you?
Nope.
Apparently not. But hey, I was close.
Oh, come on. You opened the door. What do you want?
I did not expect to go there.
What do you enjoy the most? Climax.
Okay, you all suck.
Climaxing will talk about the climax. There you go.
Okay, stop. Well,
exploding in joy about the climax.
Okay, let him go. Let him go.
We're good.
But we are talking about New Japan.
Okay.
Why are we talking about New Japan?
I don't know. The climax is over, Jeff. Jeez, let
Why
it go.
are we talking about...
Work with me here, gentlemen.
Why are we talking about New Japan?
Because one of their upcoming shows, King of Pro Wrestling,
is
going to be their next event to feature English commentary.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And the commentary team will be Matt Stryker and, believe it or not, one Mr. Kevin Kelly.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Kevin Kelly?
Right? Wasn't he doing stuff for ROH?
Yes, indeed he is.
Yeah, so crossover. Cool.
Yeah, so they're doing that.
Will it be a Ring of Honor crossover?
Well, if they're using English...
Well, they do have a friendly working relationship with New Japan, so it's not unusual after all the U.S. shows that they've done.
Yeah, ROH and New Japan have done it many times.
Okay.
Done
it. You bringing up the climax.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
But you know what the best part is? The show is actually supposedly happening this week.
Oh, really?
It's happening this week, so I gotta wake up, but we're not...
October 12th.
October 12th. So...
What time do we... Let me ask you, what time do we have to wake up for this one?
Probably maybe 5 a.m.
That is not happening.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll catch it on the...
I will be partied out because I'll be celebrating my birthday the night before, so...
Yes.
I will not be waking up at 5 in the morning.
Well, technically it won't be on the 12th.
But what if you're still awake?
It will be the 12th.
I won't be.
Let's put it this way. Due to the time zones, it will be on the 12th in Japan, which means that when...
It'll be the 13th.
It'll be the 13th at 5 a.m. on our time. On the East Coast.
I probably still won't watch it.
So you'll still have a whole 24 hours to recover from your birthday.
I probably still won't watch it because I suck when it comes to mornings. So.
Here's the problem, okay? The whole thing is well and good until you say 5 a.m.
Hey, it could be worse. Some of these pay-per-views go on at 3 a.m. our time.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm still awake. I'm still awake, so that's cool. Bring on the 3 a.m.
That point he'll be starting. He'll be opening up a new 6-pack.
It's me. Come on.
I was about to ask about your nocturnal habits, but now I'm not so sure I want to go down that rabbit hole anymore.
Insomnia is a bitch.
Hey, that's what the WWE Network is for.
Indeed, that's why I have it. Only $9.99.
Oh, $9.99 for infinite amusement while you're insomniac.
We're not getting paid. We got to stop plugging this.
Hey. But you know who is getting paid?
Not us.
Xavier Woods.
Indeed.
Ask me why.
Why is Xavier Woods?
What is his video game?
Paid?
Is his video game YouTube channel getting bought by the WWE?
Apparently, it looks like it already is.
Ah,
because this week or just recently, WWE Shop just started selling up, down shirts. just in time for New York Comic Con.
Good for him.
As long as they don't pull a Long Island IZ?
Z True
or
Long
Z
Island
True
Story.
Long Story. Thank you. As long as they don't pull, they don't just pull a Zack Ryder, what they do with Xavier Woods, I'm good.
Yeah, hopefully I don't see it going the same way just because of... It seemed like that they were behind this thing right from the get-go. And
were they? I thought it was just
Yeah,
Xavier
they did
Woods
a
doing
press-
his own separate thing. Okay.
Very early on, it looked like that WWE got on board with this and actually released a press release
Oh, I didn't know
about this. So maybe it has a little bit more official approval from WWE corporate, I guess. Either way, lately it's been very good. Their latest episode, as of this recording, just went up and features Xavier Woods and Stardust playing the new Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh my god, I have to watch this.
I'll throw it on right after we finish taping this episode, but
Oh my God.
it is every bit as glorious as you think it would be.
They're playing Star Wars Battlefront. You sold me.
Is he playing the trumpet with the Final Fantasy theme song at the
No,
same time?
but
I just can't.
Stardust is dropping like random factoids about Star Wars the entire time.
Good enough for me.
I just can't wait to see Xavier Woods come out on a Raw or SmackDown with up, up, down, down T-shirts.
I would be very questioning of that. I know that's not even proper English.
I was about to
My
say,
English
what?
teacher would probably punch me in the grill right now.
Are you talking?
Are you talking? Are you come flapping? But I'm just thinking, if he wears an up, up, down, down shirt on Raw, that would also mean to me that he's not wearing a New Day T-shirt.
Well, he'll be wearing his New Day vest that he wears. He'll just have the shirt
Okay,
under it.
I just didn't want to imply that like he was going to, in order to wear that shirt, he would have to be separated from the New Day.
No,
No,
not at all.
Nah.
It'll
Okay,
just be.
let's keep
It'll
it
just
You
be
wear the
subtly.
blue vest.
It'll just be subtly put in.
You wear the blue vest with the shirt underneath.
Okay.
Bam.
Right, so
It's done.
any higher-ups in WWE that may be stumbling over this, please don't break up the New Day. They're one of the best parts of your show. They are better than both the Eva Marie and the Cena combined.
Just don't overuse them, or what's the right word?
Overexposed.
Overexpose them. Thank you.
Hey, I'm just rolling. I'm just clapping with the champs and feeling the power. I'm good.
You think New
Like-
Day's going to take the U.S. title?
I was pretty convinced that the way that they were going on this last week's Raw. I can talk good. On the last week's Raw, I'd say they were looking pretty good, and with the surge in momentum that they've got, I think they've got a very solid chance.
And
much as
with
anybody.
the chant and with the news coming out that John Cena's taking time off after Hell in a Cell, that just amplifies the thought that
they're gonna pull
holy
a shield.
crap, we're gonna have the New Day with the tag titles and the
They're
United
gonna
States
pull a
title.
shield.
And here's the
It's gotta be
question:
great.
are they going to freebird the U.S. title?
Knowing them, I'm gonna say yes.
Has that
The
ever
New
happened?
Day, everyone's the United States
Not
champion.
until now.
But no, I'm dead serious. Has that actually happened?
No, I'm serious.
That's
not
awesome.
until now.
That is awesome.
And it would be a great heel move, like saying, like, assuming like Big E beats Cena for it, like I thought he would. We can have Xavier Woods run around like I'm the U.S. champion. I'm the U.S. champion.
I'm the tag team champions.
Exactly, and that worked so well last time. Let's do it again. Anyway, that's for this week's round of backstage news and our coverage of Monday Night Raw. At least all that we care to.
Oh, and I like Kane and Seth Rollins. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I'm
It's
digging.
a fresh take on Kane.
It's
I
a
like
fresh take on Kane, but it's another one of those.
It's time filler.
and you know how it's going to end, and let's enjoy it
Yeah.
before it gets to that point. And I don't like predictable feuds. You know how it's going to end, and you know that Seth Rollins is walking out at the end of this feud still World Heavyweight Champion, and so you can only enjoy what they're planning to do with Kane until it's over and they bring him back down to the main card.
There is
The
nothing.
journey is the destination, man.
Thank you.
I loved.
Thank you, Gerald.
I loved the show after
Hey, watch the hair.
After the pay-per-view. When he came out all happy and gleeful without the mask and was in the back, and then suddenly at the end of the show he comes out from under the ring doing the Kane drag under spot. I was like, that is genius. But I need more of that.
I think we talked about it while you were gone, that how much... The one thing I do love about it is, with Kane being the corporate Kane, he's still Demon Kane, just wearing the corporate mask. That's how we were putting it as.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. I like that he's trying to basically play mind games with everyone about it, but it's just so... It is clear as day. Even after this one, when they did the whole tag team match, Kane broke the handcuffs, and while he's being sent to the back, he just turns around, looks at Seth Rollins, and smiles. Because, exactly.
That was a nice touch.
It's Demon Kane, but with the corporate mask. It's brilliant. I love what they're doing. And it's just like what Gerald over here said. The journey is the destination, man.
It's been
and
said
it's about
many times,
time.
many ways.
When was the last time we saw like a good Demon Kane?
Hell, when's the last time we saw
one.
something decent with Kane?
None of that.
New bit of Kane merch right here. Speaking of,
I'm buying that.
What was that?
World's greatest director of operations mug.
What was it? 2012. That whole thing that he had with John Cena.
Rise Above the Hate.
Rise Above the Hate. That was stupid.
That was a silly feud.
That was stupid, and
Yeah,
that was the
the
last
worst
time
part-
we had Demon Kane.
And that was also the worst
Well,
part.
not really. We had Demon Kane versus Bray Wyatt.
That was-
Yeah, and
It didn't go any. It
Inferno match.
was very quick, but you know what? It helped.
It helped Bray Wyatt.
It was quick yet satisfying.
It didn't feel like Demon Kane. You know, it just felt like Kane in a mask. This, I want Demon Kane, and what we got at the end of the day, the Raw after.
We have Demon Kane.
No, I mean what we got the Raw after was Demon Kane. I need more of that.
Oh,
The grinning and all that is a nice touch.
It's
The world's greatest director of operations. It's a nice touch, but give me more of the demon in the mask and less of the dude in the back smiling and grinning at everybody. I get it. I get the point of the character, but I'm like, I want the demon in the mask. I don't give a crap.
The story's not over yet. The story's not over yet.
Yeah, in my eyes, I like the mask stuff. I'm okay with the backstage stuff and the stuff he's doing with the Authority.
Brilliant. Anyway, let's talk about something that's pretty much universally beloved at this point. Let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about Takeover respect.
I respect this pay-per-view.
I more than respect this pay-per-view.
I respect it.
I respect this pay-per-view so much.
While everyone's going gaga over the main event, I have some issues.
Okay, well, let's jump right into the pay-per-view. First match. We've got Joe and Finn Balor, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor going over the team of Dash and Dawson. This one was, to me, I know we were talking about this for a little bit before we started taping. This one was okay, but in some dimensions sort of fell a little flat.
When it comes to the two semifinals, this one, I think, was the weaker one.
This one was building up a story
for the finals.
Going into the final.
Exactly.
Okay, this was all about showing that Finn Balor screwed up his knee. So there's now a chance that whoever wins the next match can actually beat the powerful duo of Balor and Joe. I was like, these guys are human now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these guys are human. One's got a bad leg.
The other is Samoa Joe.
So now there's an opportunity here. And so in the process of building a story, the match itself did fall flat. Okay, but building the story, it did what it had to do.
And did it seem kind of short?
It was as long as it needed to be.
What was it, like 8 minutes?
Yeah, well,
Because it definitely wasn't 10.
Yeah.
It was it was the shorter match too.
well, when you
And
got
you know what?
when you have
That was fine.
when you have an Iron Man match and all the build up and the after stuff to that match taking up a good 45 minutes of a 2-hour pay-per-view. Okay, it leaves other matches to get kind of less time. So and it's a semifinal match. The final match is going to be the one that gets the time.
Right.
So the semis 8 minutes. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
For what it was, I thought it was fine.
It was nothing special.
Yeah, and
But
again,
it got
was just setting up for the rest of the night.
It got what it needed to do done. Nothing more than that.
Again, considering this is also one of the weaker matches on the card, I felt this it was also it sounded like a pretty good omen to me. Compared to what we see later on the show, it was fine.
Now the other semifinal match actually was
Baron
so
Corbin
much fun.
and Rhino going over Gable and Jordan.
This
was way better than I expected it would be.
I like Gable and Jordan. I like that they're being set up as the next Team USA, even to a point where the fans are chanting Gable, Gable.
Yeah, what?
Gable.
Maybe one of you guys can tell me, is Gable from like Florida or something? Because he was getting lots of cheers.
I honestly don't know, but the Kurt Angle thing is because they were both Jordan and Gable were Olympic wrestlers.
I thought just Gable was the Olympian, and then
I thought they were both.
I thought Gable was an Olympian, and Jordan was a NCAA wrestler.
I actually thought they were both. They both fought in the Olympics.
Well, either
way, it doesn't
you
matter.
have an Olympian and a pretty good collegiate.
And they definitely had a great match with Baron Corbin and Rhino.
Yeah, especially that one German suplex from Gable with that one bridge.
Oh yeah, it was like a roll up, and then he just turned it into a.
It was like a rolling German suplex into a bridge. With
from what I've read,
Corbin of all people.
From what I read, it's called a chaos theory.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
awesome.
I looked it up, and then it's
Corbin showed me something. Like, it has been showing me something in recent weeks. Now that he's playing the heel,
an actual character.
Now that he's playing a character, now he's showing me what I needed to be shown to get on board.
Right.
So it's like I still get a lot of people coming to me saying that he's the worst thing ever.
He's not the worst thing
I'm talking
ever.
about. The Charlie. You know who I'm talking about. It's just
of course he would say that.
He's not bad. Is he great? No, but he's workable.
He's in the right place to get good.
Exactly. And
you know what? He is getting good.
He's getting better.
He's getting good because he's working with guys like Samoa Joe,
and
with
Rhino.
guys like Finn Balor, with guys like Rhino, with guys like Gable and Jordan. These are the guys who are gonna take Baron Corbin to his limit, and if
to infinity and beyond.
At this point, if a Corbin match is better than a Balor Joe match, which is what we're saying here, okay, sky's the limit for this dude at this point.
Mm-hmm. If nothing else, I can see him being a really good, solid Kevin Nash style wrestler.
I can see him coming. I could see him coming up as the old Sheamus character of just coming out and beating the crap out of anything that moves.
I think that's what they were trying to do, but he didn't really hit his stride before they want him to do that. Well, now he's sort of coming into his own.
Yeah, because Sheamus also had a personality while he was doing it, yelling and screaming and fighting the right people, while all Baron Corbin had was, let's see how many seconds it takes for him to kill this jobber.
Yeah, pretty much.
He had two moves: kill jobbers and smirk.
Yes, and even
3 if you count look bored as a move.
Yeah, and there were times where he would forget 2 of them. He would forget.
He would never forget looking bored.
He would always he'd forget to smirk and he'd just stare at you, and we'd be like, "What is wrong?"
Can I have a
and
cookie
that was
now?
why, and that was why we always used to talk crap about him, because he has 3 moves and he has 3 looks, and he'd forget the smirk.
Hey, that again. I think NXT is so loaded with good booking and good talent that it's really easy to forget that this, in its own way, still is a developmental league. It's just the best developmental league in the friggin' world.
Exactly. Like, Baron Corbin is going to come up to the WWE at some point, and I can guarantee you, we won't look back at the forgetting the smirk, looking bored, going to the back when he was supposed to stay out on the entrance ramp. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And we won't remember that. We'll remember stuff like this tag team tournament,
Exactly.
and all that, and his fights with Joe, and he'll belong.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something when he forgot to stand at the entrance ramp and we were all going off on him. We didn't believe that he was going to make it that far, but here we are now.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's growing up. Everyone's improving. Speaking of things improving, I'm not quite sure what happened during this next part. All I remember is just an angel showed up. Like, just a radiant...
That they... Kana.
Yes. Oh, that... Yes. Asuka is here.
Asuka.
And I could not be happier.
I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't call Asuka without thinking of just like, what? Is her name Oscar? What? Oscar? Who's Oscar?
The woman who I've been fantasizing about since the very beginning inception of this show is in WWE, and she's breaking Barbie dolls.
If I'm going to call her by her current WWE name, I'm just going to call her Asuka.
Then call her that.
That's my
call
problem.
Her Kana until she's in a match that actually means something.
I will agree on this one. This one was just, filler.
Filler?
Yes.
This match was... I'm sorry,
this
fool.
was
I know how much you love her.
No. I will tell you why this is not filler. This is...
Explain!
I shall. For multiple reasons. Number one, this is the debut match of a major signing in Kana / Asuka.
Okay. I still called the Kevin Owens debut match filler.
Well, you're wrong. Number two, this also serves to give Dana Brooke, one of the lead heel in the women's division of NXT, some comeuppance. Same thing with Emma.
I didn't see it.
It's, again, bear with me. 3, it serves to establish who exactly Asuka is in NXT, which is basically the same exact thing that got her over in Japan. Little to no change whatsoever, especially in wrestling ability.
It just felt like it was... For a debut match, I was hoping for something more.
I'm not saying it wasn't good.
It could have been better.
It was good. It was
of course it could be.
It was good stuff. Still filler for me.
Okay, how about this?
It did
Define
what it
filler.
It was just the simple introduction with, for me, no flair. It just happened.
It had... How did that not have
the entrance?
flair?
The entrance had flair. I like her entrance with the mask and her robes. But when it came to the match, it just didn't. I'm like, oh, good. I like what they're doing with her. I like her character. It just didn't strike the chord where I was just like, okay, I gotta watch that match over and over and over again.
I didn't watch
Well, it wasn't
this.
so much a match; it was a massacre.
I didn't watch this massacre live because I got there late because I work late.
Right.
So I got home after Charlie kicked me out, as he's wont to do, and I watched it again. Okay, and for me, okay, a big debut. Okay, normally I'm sitting right up at the TV. I'm like all into it. Whatever. Okay. The Kevin Owens match I wasn't into. The one at the beginning. That's why I call it filler. It did a good job debuting, but it was 7 minutes of massacre at the beginning of a pay-per-view when we know that the good stuff is going to happen later.
Okay. Well, that's just
it's the same thing. It's same thing happened here. The good stuff. We know that the good is coming. We know that Asuka is going to be in the title hunt very soon. This did its job, but it didn't excite me as it excited you.
Okay, let me explain something here. Let me explain a couple things. This match may not have had like the exciting back and forth that you might have wanted. Just like you said, in that Kevin Owens debut match in NXT against CJ Parker. Just because that may not have had that same sort of... And I know exactly what you're referring to. You're not wrong. But when we're talking about a match that's filler, we're talking about something that's in the middle of a feud or between feuds that serves little to no narrative purpose for anyone involved. If it's at the very beginning of a story, like the first chapter of a book is not filler. It sets the stage, it sets a precedent for what's to come. If there's let's say you're reading a book and then all of a sudden, let's say you're reading like Lord of the Rings or something, and then there's just suddenly Sam and Frodo go off to eat some apples or something on the way to Mordor or whatever. That would be filler.
You know what the perfect example of
the Secret Tunnel episode in Avatar. That's more or less filler.
There is nothing filler about anything in Avatar: The Last
There's a couple filler episodes.
Here's my deal. Okay, I might not.
But here's the point. Let me just finish it, and then I'll divert to you. These debut matches, like Kevin Owens, like Asuka last night. They may not be the full competitive matches that show off everything that these people can do, but they're not always meant to. They're supposed to be an introduction to who this person is and who they will be on WWE television. Sure, they don't always make...
It was a fail for me.
Let me just...
The perfect example of how a debut would work, how a debut works for me, is Apollo Crews. His debut match, had me going, oh my god, I love this, I want more. When it comes to Asuka, I'm still going with that. I was just like, oh, well, that was fun.
What would you have her do differently?
Honestly, just show what she has done in Japan. Have more of what she can, of the full capacity of what she can do. And I didn't get that when she was facing Dana Brooke. I'm sorry, it just didn't hit me.
Let me just say this, okay? I'm gonna say the same thing that I said with the Kevin Owens debut match, okay? I do not believe that she needed to debut on a pay-per-view.
Why do you feel that way?
If this was a debut on a regular NXT show, I would be more impressed with this match. But knowing what was coming up later, what we got before, out of any match on this pay-per-view, I would have cut this one. Okay, I would have cut it, and I would have put it on a regular NXT show. Okay, I would have done the same thing with the Kevin Owens debut. Okay, sometimes what NXT needs to understand is that debuts don't always need to happen on a pay-per-view. Okay? This one, okay, has a 30-minute Iron Woman match for the women's title as the main event. There's no way that's gonna live up to anything that comes after it, that comes... Hold. Okay, basically... Okay, what I'm saying is, with this specific pay-per-view, okay, this didn't need to be here. It didn't need to be here.
Why this specific pay-per-view?
I don't believe, with the focus on the Iron Woman match, okay, on the Iron Man match, with the focus going in, I didn't care about Asuka debuting. I did not care.
I'm a little confused. What does the Iron Man match have to do with this?
The fact that the event was built more on the Iron Man match, where
you
a good chunk of it should have been booked, because Kana, Asuka, she's such a big name in Japan. The fact that it was built more. She wasn't really built that well for this event.
I feel
with Kevin Owens.
I feel, which is why I said that with the specific build that they had, okay, they could have had these on regular NXT shows.
Of course they could have.
Okay, and they should have. Okay, because it was good. Okay, but in the way that you are impressed, I am not.
I'm a little curious now. How do you feel like I'm impressed? What do you think I thought of this?
I thought the way you're defending it.
That didn't answer my question.
What
did you think I thought of this?
You thought of it as a masterpiece.
Well,
No,
I wouldn't go
absolutely
that
not.
far. I wouldn't go that far. But I am not saying that this was bad by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, it's good. It was good. It debuted her. It got the job done. Okay, but I just, out of every match on this pay-per-view, okay, for me, this was the weakest.
Okay.
For me.
I understand. And I certainly see how you might feel that way.
Okay, and I just feel, okay, because what I saw in this match, I know, is not the full extent of Asuka's work.
Is it? You could say the same for any debuting wrestler in what they do, in anyone's debut.
And I'm you can also say that I'm fully biased with the compared to the women that we saw later. Okay, I didn't see that much. And I understand
compared
why.
to everyone else we saw on the card, we didn't see much from anybody else. But I'm just making a point.
I understand that. Okay. I feel like the better service to the character would have been to have the debut on a regular NXT show and then build up to something in the future. My whole thing is NXT always has their debuts on pay-per-views. Always.
No, they don't.
From what I've seen recently, yes, they have.
What about the two ladies they just debuted in the women's division? They just debuted two ladies who were in the women's division.
I mean, like bigger names. Okay, bigger.
But you just answered your own question. Because they're bigger names, they're established talent to the core audience, which constitutes the NXT Full Sail crowd. That's the only reason why they're doing this. That's the same reason why they debuted Kevin Owens at where he was debuted. That's the same reason they debuted Apollo Crews, of all people, in NXT Brooklyn, in the middle of Smart Country. And it's also the same reason why they debuted Asuka in this special event full of the NXT Full Sail diehards, and in front of all the diehard core audience that would be watching Takeover.
Okay,
because she's an established name, that's the only reason why she got that spot.
Okay,
and let me finish this. I agree with you. This would also fit just as well on an episode of a regular NXT taping, a regular NXT show. Certainly. However, in my eyes, that still does not diminish the fact that this match in this segment did exactly what it needed to do. It showed off an impressive array of what what Kana can do, Asuka, whatever, Asuka, whatever we want to call her on this show. And outside of delivering some of the stiffest kicks in the history of the known friggin' universe, and about a dozen other submission transitions, this, I honestly don't know what else she could have done at this point. Well, she did enough for this.
I'll put it this way so we can move on, because we've been on this match for a while. But
I will debate this with you from the end of time, but go ahead.
If they wanted me to be impressed, they failed. That's it.
The thing is, like, we do know what she's capable of. It's just that in this particular match, we feel like it fell short. It felt like she didn't show what she is capable of. We just have to wait later to see more of what she's capable of. Maybe facing someone that's not Dana Brooke. Maybe someone, let's say, Natalya standards, which we all know she could put, like, if those two are together, they would put like a good 20-minute awesome match. With this one, it didn't really just show that, she's a good, she had great kicks in it, but it just didn't show that really for me, her full extent of what her wrestling talent shows.
And in my point of view, as the casual fan who isn't well versed in Japanese kana, okay, if they wanted me to be impressed with, it was good. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it's good. I agree with you. It did what it needed to do. It got the point across. But if they wanted me to be impressed, they failed. And that's it.
But you said they failed in getting your attention, but you liked it? I'm having a hard time following.
They failed. The way you've been building her up on this show, okay, I saw nothing that made me jump out of my seat. Okay? Did a good job of getting the point across, but I'm not excited. You know what I mean? Like
I built her up too much.
You built her up too much.
Okay, I will buy.
You built her up too much, and I was going into this thing going like, ooh, I don't know. Okay, let's see what she got. And then I'm just watching, and I'm like, okay.
But
it's good, but I'm not.
It didn't.
So what I'm hearing here from both of you is that you were sort of expecting like this big, like 10-15 minute like opus right out of the gate, and instead
not even. It doesn't have to be 10 to 15 minutes.
What we're getting is just like we're getting a monster push for the women's division. And that's not what you expected or wanted. Is that?
I didn't want the monster push.
Okay, I will buy.
I didn't get what I expected. I didn't get what I wanted, which means it was good. It did the job, but I could do without on this pay-per-view.
You got pepperoni pizza when you wanted mushrooms.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I guess my thing was
keep watching,
and I just wish it didn't have to be where I have to like keep watching to get that taste. I mean, like I said earlier, when I saw the Apollo Crews' debut on NXT Brooklyn, I was on the edge of my seat. I was going crazy. I'm like, oh, I want to see more. I want to see more of what this guy can do. And when it came to this match, it just didn't. It didn't have me at the edge of my seat that I was really hoping for. It's like. Now we just have like I said, I have seen her as Kana. I have seen Kana matches, not a lot of them, but the ones I have seen, it had me at edge of my seat excitement. But this one match, it didn't. It's just basically it was just there.
Again, it's a debut match. It doesn't have to be the encyclopedic whatever you want.
I can't wait for Asuka versus Bayley.
And that's when you're going to see it. That's when you're going to see everything that you go.
Okay, this was a small dose. I wanted the whole cocktail, and I did not get it. So I'm disappointed, and let's...
I'll just say for me, I barely got a dose, but okay.
Yeah, it'll come. You'll get there. Anyway, speaking of him, Apollo Crews went over Tyler Breeze. This one was really, really good. Again,
It actually was. It was at least it wasn't a complete squash, which I was expecting. As soon as I saw Tyler Breeze, I'm like, "Yep, he's losing."
Yeah, you know he's losing, but you know you're gonna get a good 10 minutes before he gets annihilated, which is normally what happens on these shows. You get a good 10 to 15 minutes of competitive Tyler Breeze match, and then the opponent comes in and murders him at the end, which is basically exactly what happened here.
I was gonna save this for our Scholars Quick Talk, but I just decided not to. I'm just gonna ask you guys
Fire
now.
away.
Do you think we're ever going to see Tyler Breeze on the main roster, or is he just going to stay as an NXT guy?
I do think we're going to see Tyler Breeze on the main roster. I do think he's going to need a replacement for that role before he's done. Maybe Hideo Itami can take that role for a little while. Maybe turn him heel. I don't know, but short answer: do I think he can go to the main roster? Absolutely.
I think Tyler Breeze could take the Kofi Kingston position of jobber to the stars from before the New Day, whenever somebody needed a random match to build them up to the next feud. Who do you feed to them? Before it was Kofi Kingston, I think Tyler Breeze could be that guy. Get a good 10, 12 minutes.
Lately, that's
Okay.
Tyler Breeze now.
That's Tyler Breeze now, and I think that they can continue that on the main roster.
But he's also going to need some proper build, but just to get him up to that level before you start feeding them to the wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Like they did on NXT.
As much as I would love to see Tyler Breeze on the main roster, and I love Tyler Breeze. He's such a great character. He puts on great matches.
And he's gorgeous.
I'll leave you with that one. I'm afraid. I'm resisting. I'm afraid for him to be on the main roster, because I would be worried that he would be pretty much another a mixture of Fandango and John Morrison.
Just another Ugo.
Well, that's
And
pretty
then
much what he is now.
But that it scares me that he's not going to elevate into something special. He's just going to be that part where he's being a low card talent, and he's pretty much the jobber to the mid carders.
You're having nightmares of Fandango and Tyler Breeze tag teaming, aren't you?
The scary thing is, I can see that.
I can see it too.
It scares me.
I disagree. I can see Tyler Breeze being a solid mid-carder, definitely winning the Intercontinental title once or twice.
I think that's pretty much his ceiling. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that the Intercontinental title is his ceiling. And
elevate that sucker.
That's what Kevin Owens is for.
Okay.
and
He's going to elevate it first, and then he's going to pass it along. He's going to move to the main event. Maybe Tyler Breeze will be around, and then boom. The IC title goes to Prince Pretty.
I still see Tyler Breeze being the Kofi Kingston jobber to the stars. The Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, before he got all goofy with himself with the drugs and all that crap. Where
I was
he
going to
faced
say,
Cena. When he would face Cena in those 15-minute matches where it's like, we know you're going to lose, but he gets 15 minutes with Cena. That is the highest I see Tyler Breeze going.
good match, by the way.
But you know what?
Very good match.
But you know what the funniest part is? We've been talking about Apollo Crews in just about every other match except the one he's actually in.
Well,
it was an Apollo Crews match. There was nothing really different, except
okay,
and it's good.
I will say this is really the perfect example of a filler.
Yeah, this
it was a thrown together match. Did these guys even have a feud, or were they?
He's just like, hey, you're an Ugo, and he's like, hey, I want to wrestle.
Basically,
no, I'm not. WCW.
Yeah,
we went WCW in this.
And then that's it. And then like after this,
Now this one definitely was a filler.
Yeah, this was filler. This was 15-minute filler.
Hey,
Okay.
you're an uggo.
You're
Hey,
an uggo.
no, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
You're an uggo. Hey, no, I'm not.
Meet me in the ring.
But okay, it's like okay. I was gonna. The only reason, you know what? Forget it. I was gonna say the only
We'll
reason
get
I would
there.
say filler is because are they ever gonna face each other again? Is it gonna continue from here?
Maybe like a tag match. I don't know. Speaking of tag matches, we have the finals of the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Joe and Balor defeat Baron Corbin and Rhino to win the thing.
I can honestly say that I forgot that this is like the first one, so they're not gonna do anything like evil at the end, someone turning on someone with the first one after Dusty Rhodes passed away. And I was like, I was waiting for Jamoa. I was waiting for Samoa Joe to just turn around and chop block the knee. I was waiting for it. I was like, now is the perfect time if you want to set up Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe.
All in favor of changing his name to Jomo Snow?
Jamoa Snow.
Now I'm tripping over my words.
Jesus,
Jamoa So, come on.
Jamoa So. Okay.
Good enough for me. Okay.
I won't.
But I was like, okay, now would be the perfect time. Now would be the perfect time. And then the Rhodes family got her in the ring, and I was like, oh, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
Now I want to make a poster of Samoa Joe over
Jamoa Snow.
over the Jon Snow body, have him with the long hair and beard.
No, we're talking. Oh, that's spoilers. I can't say it. Are we talking that GIF at the end of the last season where the staring? You know?
No, just normal Jon Snow.
The normal Jon Snow.
Not like White Walker Jon Snow.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Now we're talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, we're changing him now to
Jamoa
Snow. So of course we're gonna think, oh no, now it's like
boy.
What now?
You know
now he's a bastard?
that's gonna be our new name for him, right? There's
I
Samoa Joe is dead. Jamoa Snow is here
until he sneaks up behind you. He's like, "What are you calling me? Not Samoa Joe. I'm sorry."
But yeah,
please don't kill me.
It's like that Vine video of the guy's like, "I'm gonna beat the first guy who behind me," and it's Brock Lesnar. Stop it, Brock! No.
No.
God damn it, Brock! No.
But yeah, this was a tag team match, and it was good. It was a good tag team match. Nothing really
Good finals.
spectacular, but
Good storytelling.
Good story, definitely good storytelling, and I think possibly after the coup de grace, a little bit more. Oh shit, my leg, or whatever. But other than that, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. There were no flaws really, but there was anything great. It was a tag team match.
Yeah. In my opinion, it went on a little bit longer than I would have liked, but again, it wasn't.
It was a finals, so of course
it wasn't
was.
too much to make me
And
to really hurt the match.
And I probably won't be the only one to say it. When Cody Rhodes was giving his speech,
Yeah, I got a tear.
I cried.
I got a tear.
A tear came out.
I didn't cry, but they were bubbling.
You got the feels.
I got the feels.
And then it came harder when the American Dream.
Now, if you want the
I can't cry to
ultimate heel
cowbell.
heat,
I'm sorry.
if
I
you
can't.
want,
it's so happy.
If you want the ultimate heel heat,
It was happy cry,
okay,
man. It was
they're
happy
holding
cry.
up. They're holding up the trophy. Shot block.
Oh, stop it! Stop it right now!
You save that for a bigger moment.
I'm a douche.
Save,
okay,
it's like
I'm a douche.
save that for the NXT show after.
I'm a douche.
NXT Takeover douchebag.
I expect the worst of everybody. So I'm like, they're holding the trophy. Do it.
I'll tell you what. Did you expect the same going into the main event?
Wait,
The very worst of anybody going into this
Yes.
final
actually,
match?
yeah.
Yeah, I expected
No,
most
we
of
did
the
get-
stuff.
We did get the worst.
I expected.
Okay, let's
by
break that down.
worst character, by like
Bailey going
heel
over
character.
Sasha Banks.
I loved it.
It was good. Okay, I believe that the Brooklyn match was better.
Yes,
I can see how you would think that.
Okay, basically, the reason I'm saying it's better is because I walked in, or I sat down and I started watching the TV, knowing that Bailey is coming out on top. Didn't really know how, didn't really know when or what the whole deal was, but I knew that somehow she was coming out on top. I thought that they were going to do a Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels kind of thing, where it was 0-0 and they have to go into overtime because they had 45 minutes left of a show that the match was 30 minutes. It was a 30-minute Iron Man match. So I was like, there's got to be some time left over. They're setting up for a Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels thing, and here comes Charlie going 3-2.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay, and then you get the countouts and the roll-ups, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna be right, okay, but it's basically like, I liked the first match better because you didn't know.
You really didn't think that Bailey was
at that point. At that point, I didn't know.
Wow.
Okay, I was just like, there was more of a shot that Sasha would retain. There was more of a shot than she's gonna win it right now. At last night, like, there was no doubt. There was doubt in my mind at Brooklyn. Okay, because she had just debuted.
On the main roster?
Sasha
on the main roster. I know what he was going on.
She had just debuted on the main roster. I'm like, okay, so she could still... No, I mean, like, but she's not really doing anything at this point. So she could still hold it for another pay-per-view, for another NXT show, if they wanted to. Because I know the deal is that they're going to try to build up Charlotte, and Sasha Banks has got to go in the background, as she has. So I was like, there's a shot that she could remain NXT Women's Champion until the time comes. But so I was like, I was surprised and happy and joyful. It was like Kevin Owens beating John Cena for me in the didn't expect it to happen, but it did. Okay. One of the things. So I was so on a lesser scale, obviously.
No, I'm just saying. But, I have my different reasons why I believe the first match was better.
This and it was also more well executed. There were less drops on the head. The arm drag from hell that didn't work out.
That almost like paralyzed Sasha. My God.
So I'm like, there were some more botches, but it was a bigger stage. Obviously, because it was the Iron Man match, they're the main event of the show, so there's probably nerves. So it's like, okay, I'll give them that one. But it was like the first match was more crisp, but this one more emotional.
Yeah, it was, to me, sure, it had a lot more unexpected moments, and to me, those small little botches gave it a more organic feel in my eyes. Like, obviously, if we were talking like Eva Marie style botches where you're just horribly doing moves wrong,
where you're breaking someone's nose,
and that's something completely different. This one, they weren't so far off the mark so that I can let it slide, and just after the way this one was built up, I feel like I had the exact opposite reaction that you did, Brian. This one I felt had a lot more unexpected moments, just because of I didn't expect them to. I was expecting them to be just like a regular, more vanilla, straight up, figure A is respected, figure B is respected. It's just going to be two respected figures just going at it and see who wins.
But you forgot it was Sasha Banks.
I didn't expect Sasha Banks to go full on heel like she did. And when she did, it was absolutely glorious.
I feel like that made the match better, okay? Because a lot better. But the first 7 minutes were like,
Well,
me.
again, it was.
And then
it's not
she
a sprint,
went.
it's a marathon.
And then she went apeshit, and I was like, "Ooh!"
And she made Izzy cry, which I thought was beautiful.
Here's my thought with what you were saying before. I like the first match better because, in my opinion, how I look at it, the first match had the perfect balance between wrestling and storytelling. When it comes to this one, the more focus was on the storytelling. And I thought this match was great. It was great storytelling, especially when it came to Sasha Banks. I loved what Sasha Banks was doing. What she was doing in this match actually brought in a Scholar's Quick Talk that we'll do later. I loved everything she was doing. I loved how it was the eye rake, that roll-up pin. I liked that it was a count-out. It was such great dirty heel moves that got her points and then Bayley was getting the nice clean victories. And I love that Sasha Banks was making what was the number one fan's name? Izzy. I personally
doing all those horrible spots
didn't she
right in front of Izzy.
And making her cry and then
twice.
I'm pretty sure she actually spit like in the direction.
Didn't she throw her glasses or something? She took something from Izzy and just threw it back at her.
Threw it at her, and I was like, okay, if they had gone the respect route, okay, Sasha Banks going full heel, okay, and showing that you can that you should go full heel in a match like this made this match so much better.
I know.
Than it was. Good. If it was just a respect angle, I would have been bored. Completely, seriously, and honestly.
And that's what brought this match up to another level for me. Because that's why I think a lot...
Which part?
Just how we thought this match was going to play out. Because, what I was talking about and what Brian mentioned about how we thought we were going to play up the respect angle, I'm cool, let's just, go hard and see who wins.
Oh, they did that in the beginning.
Yeah, but then it turned
and then it became story of
and that's why
face
I
versus
enjoyed
heel.
This as much as I did.
And that's exactly why I enjoyed this match as much as I did.
Hooray! We can actually agree on something tonight.
Oh, it was it was such good storytelling. I loved the aggression that both women were going through, and I 150% agree with the fans. This is wrestling, and then women wrestling,
and that after the match.
And then after
that last 2 minutes of the show,
that was cute.
Might have got me to tear up again.
And you know what? There's actually something that they didn't.
I didn't tear up in joy.
There's actually one other little detail that they did that someone only mentioned on Twitter, and they provided photographic proof of this. That
was it the Sasha?
Yes, Sasha. When she got her flowers at the end of the match,
after
they went off the air, she went up to Izzy and gave her the flowers. Class act, Sasha. I love you.
I'm pretty sure that Izzy was in on the plan. Okay,
I actually heard she wasn't.
She wasn't.
It was all natural.
Wow.
For a little girl that age, you can't fake that. You just cannot fake that.
It's like that. It would be like them trying to them bringing back the Miz girl for the Slammies, and you could obviously tell she was trying to do that face. It wasn't that at all.
I wouldn't even go Angry Miz girl. I would go.
No. The first time we saw Angry Miz girl, that was legit. When they brought her back for the Slammies, they were trying.
Mick Foley's kids, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah. It was more of akin to that, but I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
They weren't forcing it. What they did with Izzy, it was all real, and that's what made it great. And then Sasha Banks at
because you look at her Twitter and you realize that when she's not wrestling, she's not her persona at all. So it's like,
I didn't cry when they doing the whole flower bit to close the show. I'm like, real? It's like, the flowers are a bit much, don't you think? But I do like the fact that they were all applauding them.
I like the fact that finally, in some kind of WWE, that in a WWE affiliate, a minor league organization, but it doesn't matter because it's affiliated with the WWE, women are actually getting like they're due.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's what it would.
We haven't had that since Lita and Trish.
Yeah, and even then, not on this scale.
Oh no, they main evented Raw.
I know.
It
but
was.
This was main eventing
This was main eventing what is basically considered to be pretty much more or less on the level of a pay-per-view.
This is for
Lita
me.
and
The level
Trish never really did that. They did main event the Raw, but that was like the big benchmark.
But it is on par.
It is on par. It's on par with the Raw.
It's the neck.
But the thing is, NXT, like the NXT like events, to me is just pretty much WWE Network's Raw. At least that's how I look at them.
If it was
it's
WWE
not that it's
Network's
nothing.
Raw, I would see it as it's a step above Raw. If we're talking about a regular airing of an NXT taping, then yes, I would absolutely agree with you.
I don't even say that. I don't think so with
but
that.
Still, it's to me, no matter how you slice it, it's still the next step up for the women. And the fact that they're getting recognized in such a way, as powerfully as they are, and fans are responding, the stars are aligning and everyone's responding. No matter how much it may look to any one of us, it's undeniable that this represents the next big step up, and WWE is recognizing it. That's why they brought in the flowers, because no matter how any one of us singularly sees it, the most important thing to take away from this, in my mind, is everyone who needs to recognize that this is a next big step in professional wrestling is taking note of that. And it's nothing but a good thing going forward.
I think it would have affected me more if Vince was there giving the flowers. Then it would be like, okay, now it is the real big step. Because, yeah, it's great with Triple H because he's running NXT. But if it was Vince McMahon, it'd be like, okay, now it's really WWE really focusing it. And that's what makes it even...
That's the next big step after this, in my mind.
That would be, yeah.
You know? Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's where we need to go next. But hey, it's a step in the right direction.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's NXT Takeover, and oh mama,
facial hair ratings.
I cannot give this any less than a goat face.
Full beard. Because okay, there was one great match. There was one match filled with greatness. Okay, everything else was good. Okay, most of the time I give an NXT pay-per-view a goat face because there is multiple great matches. This didn't really have that. The one match, the main event was great. Everything else was good. Good.
Right.
I basically did not care about anything going into the show except the Iron Man match.
Well, true, because the build was lacking.
The build was lacking, and the matches were good, but there was only one great, and it's close, but it's full beard.
I'm going to go full beard as well. I'm going to say that there were two matches that would basically... like that I thought that were great. Iron Man match, obviously, and then I was gonna say that semifinal between Jordan and Gable. They really got me interested in seeing more of those guys, and then seeing what Corbin and Rhino helped with them. Those were the two matches that actually caught my attention, and the rest of it was, as Brian said, were good.
Right.
Nothing, and not as much as I was looking forward to the Iron Man match, which was the reason I watched the event live, which this is the first NXT event that I watched live. Granted, I started at 15 minutes earlier, but I did manage. Yeah, I still... Close enough. But I also was interested in who was going to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I was also thinking, I'm like, okay, who are they going to give the trophy to? But other than that, then yeah, the rest was just good matches.
Right. Again,
to a point, I give it just a full beard.
Again, the way I see it is, I'm not just comparing it to, obviously, I think we're all in agreement that NXT Brooklyn was, generally speaking, the far superior show.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, that was also, my rationale is this. Good by NXT standards is great by professional wrestling standards. They just have the bar that high. So to me, it's most NXT productions, most special events, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them. Lately, they have been hitting the mark hard enough for me to give it a goat face. Again, your mileage may vary.
I'll say this, okay? I have given every NXT pay-per-view before this a goat face. Okay? This, in comparison, little weaker. Okay, so I can't, in good conscience, give a pay-per-view that I feel is a little weaker than every pay-per-view before it that I gave a goat face. I can't give this a goat face.
But they still raised the bar that high.
They raised the bar that high, but on NXT standards, this was a little weak in comparison to everything
By
else.
NXT standards.
Yes.
Fair enough.
And that's how I'm grading this, not on WWE standards.
There you go. Either way, standards and practices, blah, 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 blah. We know what we're talking about. Fool, that was NXT. Take us home with a little bit of Scholars Quick Talk.
All right, let me just quickly bring them up. All right. For this week's Scholars Quick Talk, first I got, because I'm going to keep going with NXT, Sasha Banks is the best booked heel in WWE.
I'm going to say no, just because my mind immediately drifts to Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt.
All right.
There you go.
This year's WrestleMania will have an NXT match.
It depends on
not
what
on
you
the
mean
main
by,
card.
It depends on what you mean by NXT match. If we're talking about people who are still technically under the NXT banner, I'm going to say no. However, I suspect you will see a huge presence of recent or near to recent NXT alumni at WrestleMania.
I believe that they will have... It'll be something like last year, where they have the Andre the Giant
and then Hideo Itami
Memorial
right in the middle.
Battle Royal. They'll have a qualifying match of some sort because there's going to be an NXT show that weekend. Naturally. So there will be a qualifying match. The winner of that will be in the Battle Royal. It'll probably be a thing for years to come. Do I believe there will be a straight NXT match?
Maybe like an NXT title match?
Only if it's on the pre-show. They're not going to put it on the actual WrestleMania.
Alright. With the Go to Hell, the Brock Lesnar Go to Hell tour reaching its end at Hell in a Cell, and of course it ends the Undertaker-Brock Lesnar feud, who's the next opponent for Brock Lesnar?
Eva Marie.
Come on, be serious.
This is actually tough.
That's more of an answer that I can give in any respect. I really can't think of anybody.
She's probably not going to go after the title again. I hope not. It's going to be... someone else is going to come in. I can see The Rock. Brock Lesnar versus The Rock.
No, beyond The Rock, there's really only one name that we can really think of. Outside,
I swear to God, if you say Eva Marie again, I'm going to slap you.
Why would I say
Eva Dandy,
Marie twice?
come on.
Oh my God, El Dandy, I will slap you again.
What are you talking about? Clearly, there's only one other person that can be.
And it can't be Gilbert either.
It's Baby Sandow, come on.
Baby Sandow. Okay, you know what? Forget about it. You know where I'm going with this. It's
Daniel Bryan. Oh,
actually, I was going to say El Dandy, but
you were going to say
you ruined it.
You really have nothing.
I really have nothing. Sorry. It could be any number of ways that I can't pinpoint. I seriously cannot pinpoint one right now.
He won't wrestle again until WrestleMania, and if he wrestles, it's gonna be comeback.
You're right. Eva Marie and El Dandy will come back at WrestleMania. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna handicap match. But in all honesty, I think if anything, it'll be The Rock at WrestleMania.
All right. Continuing with the Brock Lesnar Go to Hell tour. This year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is the best booked Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
No.
Is there any other Hell in a Cell pay-per-views that come to mind that was booked better?
The first one?
Who was in the first one?
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
No, not the match. The pay-per-view.
Oh, the pay-per-view. I thought you were talking about the match.
No.
What?
This,
No.
as I said, this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is the best booked Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
It certainly seems like it's among the ones with the most effort, but considering
now,
that
we
they
just
have such
talking
low
about,
standards, I mean, I guess
we're talking about the
made?
full pay-per-view, not just the Hell in a Cell matches in the Hell in a
Yes.
Cell pay-per-view.
I honestly don't remember any others.
Because we don't want. Actually, I do want to bring up the CM Punk one because I laughed.
I know.
But
I was there.
Yeah, we were there
both
for
were.
that. Yeah, we were there for that Hell in a Cell.
I
And
laughed
that was
hard.
weak.
I
That was
laughed
still
hard.
very
That was
weak.
very weak, but I laughed hard when he lost it 6 minutes.
I remember
See,
very vividly that some guy in front of me, like 2 rows down, just started trying to chant BM Punk.
I remember.
It wasn't funny then, and it wasn't funny now.
I remember when it was Cena versus Randy Orton for the other title, and I was just going, "Do it, Randy! Get his fucking head off!"
Honest.
Oh boy.
What was the other one for that? You had Randy Orton and John Cena.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus, I believe,
Legacy.
Yeah.
I think I might go that one.
You think that'd be? It's better than this book one?
I think I might go that one. Yeah.
I
I mean,
cannot
it's
confirm.
close. It's close, but I mean, like, I also go by the quality of the booking for the big matches for the show, and the build up for that one was pretty good.
I actually have to say, I think for me personally, I actually do think this one is the best booked. I mean, when you have Taker, Lesnar, Wyatt, Roman Reigns in a Hell in a Cell. I'm still a hardcore Canaanite. I still want to see Kane and Seth Rollins, even though I know the outcome. I know that those two can put on a good match together.
When you put it that way, okay, it is looking pretty solid. I think I'd have to see the show
For at least
proper
the big
before-
three.
I think I have to see the show proper before I can actually make a final judgment call.
The big three is solid. Anything below that?
Kevin Owens, Ryback 2. Probably, we're probably going to see New Day involved with John Cena and the Dudleys. Maybe 2 of them will be in a tag team match.
For me, ask that question again. Okay,
After?
not even after, but like
When the final card is
when the
officially
final
announced.
card is done. For me, it's too soon.
Okay.
Too soon.
All right, last one. Our boy Seth Rollins will hold the WWE World Heavyweight title until WrestleMania.
I'm going to say no, with no justification as to why I think that. This is taking a shot in the dark.
I am going to say yes.
You think so?
Yes. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble will finally take the title off of the dastardly hands of Seth Rollins.
Ooh, dastardly.
Which means that either, I know you're gonna hate me saying it, but either Roman Reigns or Dean Ambrose have to win the Royal Rumble this year for that to come to par. For that to make any sense. Okay?
Why do you think I hate that? I agree with you.
Dean Ambrose...
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I remember last year's Royal Rumble.
Well, that was last year.
It'll make more sense this year for him to win, obviously.
Right on.
But it's just like 2 years in a row. That's a little off. But I mean, like, okay, you have the obvious Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins storyline. Okay, you have Seth Rollins screwing Roman Reigns at last year's WrestleMania. Roman Reigns gets his revenge at this year's WrestleMania. For me, I'll say it. The unpopular opinion of the masses. Seth Rollins will retain until WrestleMania. Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble again for the second time and comes in and finally gets his revenge at WrestleMania 32.
I could see that happening.
I'm down for whatever
So,
at this point.
in answer to your question, Yes.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, I just want to quickly ask: did the whole Susan Komen thing with Roman Reigns feel kind of forced?
Oh yeah.
Like,
anything they ever do with the Susan Komen thing is forced.
Everything to do with Roman Reigns feels forced.
When John Cena did the promo this past week on Raw, it felt natural because he's done it before. He said it every year. But then Roman Reigns comes in out of nowhere and says his bit, and I'm just like, well, this seems kind of forced. Like they really are going to push. They're really pushing starting now. The push to have Roman Reigns be the next John Cena.
And it's not working.
I can see at this point, okay, John Cena, it's natural. Like, he's coming up with this crap on his own. With what he's saying about Susan Komen stuff. Okay? Roman Reigns, you know he's reading off the teleprompter on the
off his note cards or whatever.
Off his note cards on the teleprompter across the way. And all that, or whatever. You know that he didn't come up with this
just
off the top of his head. John Cena's been doing this for so long. He doesn't need the teleprompter. He doesn't need a script. He just gets in front of the camera and goes.
It just didn't feel right when Roman Reigns was talking about it. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right when you're saying it. It just doesn't feel...
Of course, it's Roman.
It doesn't feel natural. So that's why I'm just like, ugh.
No, you're not alone.
It's Roman. It's one of those. He's still pushed too hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Pushed too hard, not championship wise, but John Cena screen time wise. Like what they've got him doing right now with the Wyatt family, fucking gold.
Yeah.
Okay. And this has been like a good feud to build him up for his eventual probable Royal Rumble 2 run. Okay. But it's like, why are you putting him in the Susan Komen segment? Why?
Because they're still trying with him. But you know what? That conversation is ongoing, and you know what? We want to get you involved. We want to get everyone involved. So of course, let us know what you think on all the usual avenues. Comment on this video. Like if you like what you hear. Subscribe if you want to see more every week, unless we have nothing to talk about, in which case we're going on a brief momentary hiatus, and we get abducted by aliens and have to fight monsters all weekend.
And get covered in paint!
Paint?
You can also find us on Facebook, The Scholars of Wrestling Show. Like our page. Free entertainment in your face hole every weekend. And of course you can also follow us on Twitter at any of the names in the description of this video. You can follow us at ScholarsOW. I'm Robbie Rage.
I am Atomic Beanpole.
I'm at the Avataric.
And we collectively are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Let's watch more NXT.
Hey!